Pricing your product can be very difficult, but it does not have to be. Because in this video, we're gonna talk about what I learned about pricing CoLateral, my vibe-coded agentic development environment, and how you guys can implement the same for what you guys are building. How's it going, everybody? My name is Nick, and I am yapping in my car until I can buy a nicer one, talking about what we have been doing in our live streams, vibe coding until I can move out of my mother's basement. I wanted to talk to you guys. Yesterday on stream, we started to really push CoLateral into commercialization. The beta test segment era of CoLateral is coming to a close. I appreciate everyone for their interest in testing out CoLateral, playing around with the tools, and giving me the proper feedback to make it the best application available. So when we were doing that, I thought, okay, now we got to put pricing on this. We got to connect my Stripe account, etc. What should CoLateral look like as a priced product? Great question, great question. Now, it really comes down to this. Are you going to charge a monthly subscription into CoLateral, Nick? Or are you going to charge a one-time fee? And this goes for all you guys, right? And you really have to ask yourself this question. Okay, if I'm going to charge a one-time fee, am I still going to be incentivized to continue to build the app, ship updates, etc.? And there's not a right answer to that. It's either yes or no, right? Because here's the thing. If you are not going to constantly update your application, right, then, you know, perhaps doing a one-time purchase is the best way of doing it, right? Like, you just simply have a one-time purchase and then you move on to your next project. That's completely fine. If it's an application that requires a lot of maintenance and upgrading and like constantly like reaching out to your clients for customer service, then very much consider doing a monthly subscription. You have to subsidize your work in upgrading it somehow. So for example, in the world of structural engineering, code changes occur all the time, right? And so it is very much like an incentive that CoLateral, as a structural engineering application, would charge a monthly fee to keep up to date, to constantly test the tools to ensure that it is up to date code compliance, right? So what did I end up concluding with CoLateral? Because on one hand, CoLateral is an agentic development environment where it's not going to change much other than, you know, like making sure that bugs are fixed, etc. But on the other hand, like I, of course, do want to implement some new features and functionality. I want to update the structural engineering tools. So what I'm doing is a hybrid pricing approach. And how it goes is this. I'm so proud of this pricing approach that, honestly, guys, let me know in the comments down below if you think this is a good approach and what you're thinking about what you're going to do with your pricing. CoLateral is going to be as the base application. I'm not going to force anyone to purchase and utilize the structural engineering tools. And actually, that's a good thing. I should put the structural engineering tools behind a paywall just so people who are not in that industry are not really going to just like tinker around the tools. There's no worries at all about non-qualified people designing buildings, essentially, right? So the structural engineering pack is going to be a separate subscription from the base product of CoLateral. CoLateral is just as a base product going to be an agentic development environment for working professionals. Simple as that, right? So of course there's a lot of competition in the ADE world. Like everyone and their mother is making one, right? So CoLateral simply, like, this is the way to get like B2C sales, business to the customers, you guys. If you guys very much want to support me and you want to have quick access to an ADE, then by all means, you can purchase the base product of CoLateral for a fixed price. And guys, I'm considering the fixed price to be, eventually it's gonna be $199, like $200. But the first couple licenses that we sell, it's only gonna be for the cheap price of $99. After that, we're gonna raise it to $150, and then after that, it's gonna be the base of $200. Ooh, sorry, wrong turn. I'm going a different way today, guys. Anyways, yeah, so fixed price for the base product, And then what am I going to do with the structural engineering tools? That's going to be a monthly subscription add-on. So what you can do is you could buy the base product of CoLateral, and if you're a structural engineer that really wants to have these tools ready at your disposal, so if you're like a new engineer that is ready to start their own firm, then you can purchase the structural engineering pack for $50 a month. And then that gives you all the access to 3D modeling, drafting, all the design and analysis tools. It's great, guys. And I think very much that is justified, because on my end, of course, I have to maintain those. It's very important that those stay up to date as best as they can. And as a result, yeah, everybody's happy, because I'm not forcing B2C users, sorry, I made a tough turn there. B2C users, like people who are just into vibe coding and want to support my ADE, right? They're not forced into structural engineering. But then it's like, yeah, if you are, then yeah, here's this expansion pack for you. Boom, simple as that. Now, what does the future of CoLateral entail? And this was a big part of, I gotta block the sun. Big part of what is in the future of CoLateral, because I don't think CoLateral is going to just stay as a structural engineering application. I think eventually we can branch out to other disciplines like mechanical, electrical engineering, chemical engineering maybe. Like I said, guys, I have a lot of contacts from university and I have a lot of bright people that I definitely want to get a hold of and say, hey, would you be interested in helping me develop like a mechanical engineering package for the development of CoLateral? And then with that, guys, the lighting here is just awful right now. With that said, then you can imagine like CoLateral, again, an ADU with a whole library of different packages. It's based on what your niche is, what your firm is going to be around. You can buy all these packages and then you can just like tag on this subscription. And it's great because it's like say you're an engineering firm where you have both mechanical and structural and then even civil, right? You can tag on these different packages, these different licenses, and then not all licenses, like you can have a CoLateral license for this client that only does structural and this one that does mechanical, and then maybe one for both. Guys, the options are endless with CoLateral. And as y'all know from our streams, if you guys haven't watched the streams, I highly recommend you tune into them. A lot of y'all know that I automate all my shorts, all of my content distribution inside of I call it a capital command center. It's essentially a pipeline where I feed these videos and my live streams into the program, and it turns them all into shorts, long form videos, carousels, etc. Great stuff, great stuff. So I'm almost starting to think, why not incorporate that also inside of CoLateral? Because there's so many clipping tools that exist out there that you know, I don't see like that being too useful as a base product trying to sell that distribution pipeline. But imagine that we sold, like, especially like for firms or anyone who's interested in it, you can buy this clipping center product as a staple onto CoLateral. And literally, like, what it does is it opens it as a card, the capital command center. And you can literally have your agents inside of CoLateral, your orchestrator, manage your uploads, manage that capital command center inside of CoLateral. Everything is seriously going to be done in the application, guys. Like I said, from a previous Kari app, we are going into the time of super apps. Like, vibe coding is literally just one piece of what goes into an entire business. And I could really see CoLateral like really focusing on all aspects of business development, guys. And yeah, starting with like a marketing pack, a structural engineering pack, and everything else moving forward into the product is going to be absolutely unreal. The possibilities are endless, guys. So that's everything I just wanted to talk to you guys about, how we're going to price our product. So like I said, fixed price for the base application. And then, yeah, a monthly fee for if you're a structural engineer, for example. All right, that being said, guys, I'm going to leave it with you guys there. Let me know how you guys are pricing your products. I'm always curious to know, because it also helps me calibrate, like, am I in the right area of how I should be pricing this? So let me know, guys. I will leave it there. Thank you guys so much for listening to my Kari app. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I will be on stream consistently this week. Saturday I'll be off, but all is well. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.